Hello, boys and girls and parents. I hope everyone is enjoying their Thursday, ready for Thursday video. Okay, let's take a look at the first one. We have a multiplication problem. We have 684 times it by 175. So we want 684 copies of 175. Okay, let's go down here. 684. And we're going to multiply by 175. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take that 5 and we're going to multiply by everything up top. Okay, so we have 5 times 4, which gives you 20. Now we have 5 times 8, but it's not 8, it's 80 because it's in the tens place. 5 times 8 is 40, plus a 0 gives you 400. Then we have 5 times it by 600. 5 copies of 600. 5 times 6 is 30. Add 2 zeros. 1, 2, and then we have that 30. 3,000. Okay, we're done with the 5. Now we're on the 7, which has a value of 70 because it's in the tens place, times 4. 7 times 4, 28, and add a placeholder, 280. Then we have 70 times 80. 7 times 8. Hopefully you're telling me 56 with 2 placeholders. Now, if you weren't sure that that was 56, guys, couple of things. 1, decompose it. But 2, we've got to really make sure we know those facts. So practice. You know, there's so many apps out there that you guys could use to practice those facts. Okay, and then finally we have, on the 70, we have 70 times 600. That's the last one with the 70 there. Okay, so think about that one. 7 times 5, 35. So one more group of 7. So it'd be a 35 plus one more group of 7. I like to think about I need 5 more to make that a 40. So if I take 5 from that, I'm left with 2, 42, with 3 zeros. Okay, boys and girls, now we're on the 1, which has a value of 100 times 4. 4 copies of 100, although this really means 100 copies of 4. 400. All right, then we have 100 copies of 80. 1 times 8 is 8, and add 3 placeholders, 8,000. And then finally, 100 times 600. 100 times 600. Think about 1 times 6 is 6, and then we have 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 6. Okay, draw your, well, the line's already drawn. We don't have to draw it. Add that ones column, you got 0. Tens column, look at this, 2 tens and 8 tens. Gives you 10 tens, and 10 tens is equal to 100. So we made 100 there. Okay, so that's why that 1 goes up there. Okay, what do you guys see in the next column? Hopefully you're telling me you see a perfect 10. There it is right there, 400 and 600. So we made 1,000 there. So that's a 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so it'd be like 1,700 because we made that 1,000. Now, next column, what do you guys notice? Hopefully you're telling me another perfect 10. Plus 5 is 15. 16, 17, 18, 19. Regroup that 1. What do you guys see? Another perfect 10. Plus 1, 11. 1, 2, 3, comma. Remember, put your comma in before you say it. Okay, so think about that right there. 119,700. Okay, boys and girls, we are moving right along. We're going to look at now the standard algorithm. The standard algorithm, okay? Remember, this way, once you understand it, it is a whole lot quicker doing it that way versus distributed, okay? Both are important, though. Okay, we have 209 copies of 874. So you could do a couple different things. Okay, you could put 209 up top, 874 on the bottom, or you can flip it around because that commutative property means we're still going to get the same product with our factors. So if we put the big number on top, 874, and the smaller factor on the bottom, 209. Let's try it that way. because I want to show you guys something with that 0. Okay, so we're going to multiply everything by the 9. That 9 has a value of just 9 ones. 9 times 4, 36. Remember 36, we're going to keep that 6. That 3 is going to travel. 9 times 7. Hopefully you're telling me 63 plus 3 more. 66. Regroup that 6. Then finally we have 9 times 8. And really it's 9 times 800. 9 times 8. Hopefully you're telling me 72 plus 6 more. Gives you 72, 78. Okay, what's our next step? Hopefully you're telling me cancel, cancel, cancel. 1 placeholder. Okay, now, do you notice that's a 0? Anything times 0 is going to be 0. So you have a couple of different things you can do here. 1, you can just go ahead and put all those zeros in, okay? Because you know it's going to be 0. Or 2, you just move right on to the hundreds place. But you have to put a placeholder down because you need to have it in the hundreds place. Okay, so a couple different things you could have done there. Okay, so let's continue. So you have 200 times 4. Okay, I like to think about it as 2 times 4, which is 8. But really, if it's 200 times 4, that's 4 groups of 200. That is an 800. And look at where it's at. It's in the 100 spot. Okay, 200 times 70. 2 times 7 is 14. I'm going to keep that 4. Regroup that 1. And then finally we have 2 times 8. Really, it's 200 times 800. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 more gives you 17. Cancel. Now we're ready to add. We have a 6, another 6. Then what do we have? Double 8s. 16. Look at that. Regroup. This would make 8. I need 2 more to make that a 10. So if I take 2 from the 4, I'm left with 2. So we have 12. Regroup. That's a 7. And it's a sloppy 7, isn't it? 8. And then a 1. 1, 2, 3, comma. Okay, boys and girls, I want you to think about how are we saying that digit? How are we going to say that digit? Hopefully, you're telling me 182,666. Okay, boys and girls, moving right along. Let's take a look at our division. Okay, remember divisor knocking on that door. So our divisor is 17, and our dividend is 783. Okay, so we're really trying to see how many groups of 17 can we get out of 783. Okay, now boys and girls, today I want us to try doing something a little different today. I want you to think about that 17 and think about 10 and 100. If you times it by 10, you would get 170. If you times it by 100, you would get 1,700. So I know I can't do 100, but I can do 10. So if we just go right ahead and do 10, let's see where we end up. You get a 3, a 1, and a 6. What can you do? Another 10. 3, got to regroup. Comes to a 5. 11 minus 7, add up if you need to. I know that 7 plus 3 gives you 10, plus 1 more gives you 11, so it's a difference of 4. And then 5 minus 1 gives you 4. Okay, so we'll bring that new dividend up. Oh, look, can do another 10. 3, regroup. 14 minus 7, 7. And then we have 3 minus 1, 2. Another 10, 170. Oops, that's not a 0, that's a 3. 103. Okay, now we can't do another 10, can we? Okay. Could we do 5? What do you think 5 would be? Let's decompose that. 17 times 5. 10 times 5 is 50. 7 times 5 is 35. Put it back together and you get 85. We definitely can do 5. Okay, I've got to regroup. Regroup. That's a 9. 13 minus 5. Add up. 5 plus 5 plus 3, 8. And then that's a 9 minus 8 gives you that 1. Okay. Okay, boys and girls, we have 18, which means we can do one more. I'm going to bring it down here, 18. 1 left over. Okay, let's add our partials. 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 46, 46 with the remainder of a 1. Okay, so that is just a quicker way to do it. Now remember, if you had done it, it would have been like 20 and 20 and then a 5 and a 1. Okay? So just want you guys to kind of see that. We did that the other day in one of our math problems using that 10 and that 100. Okay, take a look at the next one, boys and girls. We need to write that in standard form. 4 million. Ooh, that's a big number. 4,265,987 and 2/10. Woo. Okay, so let's start with 4 million, comma. So 4 in the million and then a comma. Now, the thousands place, we need 3 places. Let's look at what's in the thousands. 265. 265,000. That's enough. 265. Okay, now in the hundreds, we have hundreds, tens, and ones before our decimal with that and. Let's see what we got there. 987. 987. All right, then we have an and then a 2 and a tenths. Tenths is one place, and the 2 would go there. Okay, take a look at the volume. All right. If we're looking at the volume, might be easier to cut right through there. If you notice, that's 2, so this would be 2. If that's 2, that's 4. Okay, we already have the 2 there, so I'm going to cancel out that 2. I'm going to cancel out the 6, because remember, we broke it apart. Okay, we're decomposing that side. Okay, so if we look at just the top, we see 4 length, width going back is 2, and the height is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Times 2, 16. Okay, could have also done 2 times 2 is 4. Times 4 is 16. Down here, height 4. We have a length 2 and going back 2. Oh, look at that. It's the same. Smarter, not harder. No need to re-add or re-multiply. Put it together. 10 and 10, 20. 6 and 6, 12. 20 and 12, 32. Cubic units, because remember, we're dealing with cubes, okay? 3 dimensions. Units, because we don't know what our unit is, all right? Volume. Length times width times height. Or base, which remember, base is your length times your width times your height. Oops, sorry. And wrapping it up with the last one, we are doing a couple different ways of doing distributive property on this. Okay? We're not solving it. We're just figuring out how we could use distributive property. Okay, so let's keep this the same. 953. And we're going to times it by. Let's break that apart, but break it apart inside the parentheses. Okay, so like this, 500 plus 60 plus 3. Because PEMDAS says you would have to do this part first before you move outside of the parentheses. So you would have to add all those, which means then you multiply it. Okay, and the final one. Let's do it the long way because I think we need a little extra practice with that. Okay, so we're going to decompose both of them. So 900 plus 50 plus 3. And then 500 plus 60 plus 3. Okay, so let's look at 900 first. 900 times 500 900 plus 900 times 60 plus 900 times 3. Okay, so we got the 900 down. Now we're going to do the 50. 50 times 500 plus 50 times 60 plus 50 times 3. Okay, we got the 50. Now we're left with the 3. 3 groups of 500 plus 3 groups of 60. You notice that 60, 60, 60 plus 3 groups of 3. Okay, boys and girls, we did it in about 15 minutes tonight. We really talked about a couple of them and understanding it. That's why it's a little bit more. As always, any questions, please, please, please reach out to me or ask me in class. Okay, your mystery question. If you could go on a school field trip anywhere in the world, where would you go as a class and what would you do there? Where would you go? Have we had this one before? I can't remember. I try to keep the cards out. I have little cards that gives me good questions. But if we have, oh well, we'll do it again. Boys and girls, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you tomorrow, Friday. We're almost to our weekend. I'll see you in the morning.